Hello and welcome to Papa 17, the World Pinball Championships here in Carnegie, Pennsylvania. I'm Joe Kosak.
I'm Julie Schober.
And I am Keith Johnson of Jersey Jack Pinball.
And we are jumping right into Fishtails. We have up here Brian Dye, who's having a good run so far. Through 2 games, he has a projected 117 points. It's looking like the cut line's going to be about 200 points, so he's really looking to get about 80 points over the next 3 games. And unfortunately...
That's a 0, yeah.
So how many points can he get in one game?
You can get up to 100 if you're the top scorer on a game.
And he needs, what, about 83 more, you said?
Right. Yeah.
So he's got 2 more games to make up those 80 points at the moment.
Still well within reach if he plays well.
Oh yeah, he's not out of it yet. I mean, he certainly would have liked to have added a few points there. Looks like we're going to John on Spiderman.
Yeah. So John Raplogle has 169 projected points through 3 games. He's had a really good run so far. 42 million on Star Trek, 1.2 million on Quicksilver, a very good game, and 4.3 million on High Speed.
So
he looks like he's about 75 million to put it away right now, at least just on Spiderman.
Yeah.
The Doc Ock shot has been adjusted on this game. It's a lot more difficult to backhand than normal. Also, the flippers on the game are the Williams Lightning Bolt flippers, which are 1/8 of an inch shorter for each flipper.
How did they make the Doc Ock shot harder?
If you look on the left blue rubber, it's kind of bent in a little bit. It makes backhands a lot harder. The forehands are definitely the much safer shot in general, I feel, but the backhand is doable. We started Doc Ock mode number 1 here, and fusion malfunction. 2-ball, multi-ball.
Not worth a whole lot of points, but what he's trying to do is hit that little green stand-up to the left to light his black suit locks. Not to necessarily stack that in, but to make progression so that the next multi-ball is that much easier to start once he gets back into single-ball play.
Yeah, the other goal here would definitely be to be going after the villains, such as Green Goblin and Sandman in the middle.
Yeah.
The Green Goblin and the targets on the left.
The 5 green stand-ups on the left, yeah. He's got Sandman running at the moment, the 2 yellow arrows up at the top.
And does he need to complete that by hitting it in there?
Yeah, you make enough shots up at the middle, and Sandman will go up, and then you can shoot under him. Looks like it's ready now because it's flashing. And you'll get 2 million for the first one, as I recall. He also has a super jackpot lit on Doc Ock, worth about, 1.25 million, I think. Finish Sandman. It's going for Green Goblin targets now to get that going. Green Goblin's worth a lot, mostly because the targets are pretty perilous to hit. He's almost got Sandman ready to go as well.
Yeah.
Just needs one more target on the 3 bank.
He has 2 balls on the right flipper, and I'm guessing what he wanted to do, and he did very successfully, was keep 1 ball on the flipper and get the other ball either into the super jackpot or to the other flipper.
Exactly, and he nailed the super jackpot. That was beautiful. There's a little one extra thing he can do here. If he finishes the... he just drained out.
Yeah.
I say if he finished the 3 bank on the right, he could have lit underneath that flipper for add a ball. So back to single ball play here. He's looks like, I think he made progress on 1 lock.
Yeah, he's got 1 lock towards black suit. And I think he got 1 hit of the required 2 to light his next black suit lock.
Even with the adjustment, he's being very successful backhanding that Doc Ock on the right.
Yeah. He just started the Goblin. Yeah. That's worth in the neighborhood of 750,000 a hit. So, ooh. I think he was trying to settle the ball down there from the feed and used up his 2 warnings. That's a great backhand shot right there.
As you keep getting the Doc Ox, the multi-balls, it becomes progressively harder to get them. You need more and more shots to start the next multi-ball.
Yeah, the first one's like 3 shots in order to start it. The next one's 5 shots, and then the last one will be 7 shots. And then when you start the cycle over, I think it goes up by 1, so it goes 4, 6, 8 after that.
But if you get that far, you're probably doing pretty well anyway.
Probably, yeah. And bank bust ready to go. This will be a 3-ball multi-ball if he gets this started. There he goes.
There it is.
So now the ball is lit for a little hurry up, and that determines your jackpot value for the multi-ball. If you hit it, the quicker you hit it, obviously, the more your jackpots will be worth. There it goes.
Nice. He's got a second black suit lock lit. Also, completing all the villains the first time lights extra ball on the left orbit. How much is that extra ball worth?
Yeah, I want to say it's like 2.5 million. Might be 5 though.
Yeah.
I think it's 2.5.
Typically, when the machines are in tournament mode like this, instead of awarding extra balls to be played, which can be unbalancing and make games take a long time, they set it up on a tournament mode, which, among other things, awards points instead of an extra ball.
Yep. Now he's got Spider Sense lit. I didn't see when he lit it. This might be for Add-a-Ball right here.
Yeah.
If he does a quick backhand under the flipper, he'll get another ball into play.
He seems to be considering what to do.
Well, he went for it. Spider Sense.
Beautiful.
Oh, his Unity Day. All right. Well, if he completes the Ducks time, then it'll definitely be lit for Bank Bust. Oh, he did it.
He's got it.
Now he just needs to make that shot.
He just
It's
started
so-
black
it-
suits.
Yeah.
Good timing.
Good.
Well, this will, I mean, you don't, generally speaking, you don't want to have both multi-balls running at once because you want to go back and forth between the 2 multi-balls. But in a situation like this where you're just trying to get as many points as fast as possible, this isn't really a bad thing. And you still got the Add-a-Ball ready to go. But he doesn't want to use it now because it's, it'll be wasted at this point.
And when he adds a ball, will it turn the ball save back on as well?
Yes, it will for a little bit. Now, you should certainly be thinking about trying to get that thing done now.
Right now.
Yeah, he's got a little grace period here, but I don't think he's gonna spend the effort to go for it.
No, he seems to be regrouping and moving on to the next thing.
He's sitting with 50 million at the moment, which puts him in the 20s, low teens, I guess.
So the way this tournament works is one entry in the A division consists of 5 games in a row. So you can't, if you play one good game and the other 4 aren't so good, then you're starting over from ground zero. So he needs to make these games really count.
And you get points based off of where you finish compared to everyone else who submitted entries over the course of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if you have the top score submitted for a game, you get 100 points. You have the second score, you get 90. Third score, you get 85. And every place down below, you lose 1 point up until 88th place.
Yeah, that makes those top scorers really a blessing and a curse. Obviously, they're worth a lot more, but then if someone beats you, you drop a lot of points.
Yeah. Now, John has started Bonesaw mode. He needs 100 switch hits to complete. It's a very lucrative mode, one you'd prefer to have.
He just finished it, too.
And he just completed it. And he's got his spinner lit at 3x for the rest of the ball.
Right, so every point that he would earn on the left orbit, whether it's a jackpot, whether it's a spinner, will all be worth triple the points now.
And that spinner shot he just made was almost 2 million. There's another million. Ooh.
That's okay. He's got a great score now.
It's a really good ball.
75 million is right where he wanted to be to get his points, I think.
And that's definitely a ball where if it was regular flippers, he probably would have saved that with that extra 1/8 of an inch.
Yep, that puts him in the high 40s, so
Yeah.
he's looking in really good shape right now. He's got a game to play after this too, so he can just cement his position further. We left the flipper up a little bit long there. I think it caught the flipper on the way up to Doc Ock.
So when the scores are pretty tightly grouped, which I think they are around the 90 million, I was going to say each couple million you get is another point, but still really good game.
Yep.
He's
and
pretty
John
happy.
knows it too. He knows he's in with that score.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a really
Now
good
he just
score.
needs to put the icing on the cake. John is
Celebrating in his own special
Yeah.
way.
So, I think I see Brian Dye on Twilight Zone.
no, Brian's over there
No,
right at the moment.
Yeah, that's right.
So one of the games that we have here in the A Bank is Wizard of Oz. Keith, you were the lead programmer on that game, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Tell us a little about it.
Well, it was at this point, it was probably about 3 years in the making, I guess you would say. Looks like we're looking at Maurice playing Wizard of Oz. I believe Maurice is from Canada, if I'm not mistaken. He shows up at a lot of the Michigan events. Yeah, so we try to do a lot with Wizard of Oz. Obviously, the big draw is the screen and the back glass, and of course, you can see all the colored lights on the play field. Every light is can be a different color. It was a pretty gargantuan first effort. I mean, there's just a lot on the play field too, and it took a long time to get it all together and get it, I guess you would say, done and smooth into production, and
Getting it done is always good.
yeah, exactly.
But it looks really nice. I mean, I imagine somebody that maybe wasn't into pinball walking by, that would catch their eye.
Well, that's what we think. Yeah, we think that the monitor is a big draw, and then they come up and see the play field, like, wow, look at all the lights. That's what we're telling ourselves in our minds, anyway. And it was a lot of fun to do. I mean, it was a lot of time and effort. It was, it was a lot to chew off, but it was also rewarding too to be done with it, and to see people playing it in the tournament and that kind of thing.
It's a beautiful game.
Thank you.
So what are you working on next?
Next game from Jersey Jack is The Hobbit. Scheduled to start production in December of this year. It's based on the movies, obviously, by Peter Jackson. As a lot of people watching pinball know, probably, I did Lord of the Rings for Stern Pinball, so now it's kind of fun doing the semi-sequel to that and working on The Hobbit.
So is it going to be a little like Lord of the Rings, where it has stuff from all three of the movies coming up? Or?
Yeah, well, it'll ship with stuff from the first two movies. We're not allowed to use assets from the third movie until after it's been out, in the theater for a little while.
So will you have that stuff ready to go and just send it out?
Yeah, once we're allowed to start using it, we'll throw it in the game, and it'll just come in a regular update. Not like you don't have to pay for it or anything. You can just update the game, and you'll be good to go. We're watching Brian Shepard on Wizard of Oz now. Had a disappointing first ball. Wizard of Oz was set up particularly difficult, I would say. The right out lane is pretty big. There's no rubber on the center post, so it plays much more difficult than people are used to playing a Wizard of Oz, certainly. So when you're watching from the comfort of your own home, it's like, oh, I have to score so much higher. It's really quite hard.
So looking at the play field, there's so many lights, there's so much going on. How do you know what to do?
Well, you hope that you get the point across using the lights. I mean, you know, when you get a chance, you hope people also look up at the screen. But it's kind of one of those things that, you know, you can follow it with the lights, and then you can, you know, hopefully you just keep playing and you get a good feel of what to do. Like anything, you know, the more practice you get on it, the better you'll get at playing it.
And it's a great game to play with friends because when they're playing, you can watch the screen and see what's going on.
Yeah, it was a big factor. I mean, you know, if it's in a bar or something like that, or a bowling alley, you know, you wanna be entertained by what's going on up there, and feel like, you know, there's a lot to do. That's kind of why we went with the 4-quadrant, so to speak, display. So you could see there's a lot of rules in the game available at any one time. And it's like, oh, well, I want to go for Emerald City Multi-Ball, or I want to go for Rescue Multi-Ball, or the Haunted Forest, or whatever. You know, we kind of, instead of just showing one thing available on the screen at the moment, we show 4 things going on. Not always the same 4 things, you know, because, you know, other modes and stuff like that can go on top of other stuff, but it's a lot to keep track of, and hopefully the screen, you know, does a good job of helping you figure that out. Brian seems to be going, concentrating on going for Rescue Multi-Ball here. You need to get to the upper playfield, which is upper playfield on the left. And you do that by shooting the shot next to the flashing green arrow. Although that one starts Emerald City Multi-Ball. So now he can get on the Witch's Castle and start Rescue Multi-Ball as well. And then I think looks like he's got Crystal Ball ready to go too, which will cause double scoring going on for the entire game. You know, it'll also affect the game somehow. Right at the moment, his Crystal Ball is red, meaning he'll start the no-hold flippers round, which basically means you can flip the flipper, but it doesn't stay up.
What are some of the more interesting things that can also happen to you if you shoot that crystal ball?
There's lights out, which basically means, you know, all the lights go off on the playfield. Lights on, meaning the lights kind of go all seizure mode on you. And then the last main one is green, which is weak flippers. Definitely a favorite by competitors, and Papa has expressed to me over and over again.
I can well imagine.
And then if you complete all 4 of those, then the next one is Flipper Frenzy, which instead of double scoring is triple scoring, and the flippers are reversed. Meaning the left button fires the right flippers, and the right button fires the left flippers.
Wow, that would be confusing.
Yeah, Brian's falling out of his multi-balls now. I think he's just trying to get some stuff set up here. I'm not sure if he's actively going for Crystal Ball at the moment.
It really requires a lot of focus with this many things going on to remember and know where you stand with everything and what your next best play is.
Yeah, it can be daunting. I guess he never did start Rescue Multi-Ball. He's got it ready, or he did, and he's got it ready to go again. He's got the door open. You know, he just needs to shoot the door in there with the big yellow arrow, and Rescue Multi-Ball starts. So this multi-ball, the main objective, each of the 6 main shots on the playfield is green, and it'll score a single jackpot, then a double jackpot, then a triple jackpot. It's as indicated up in the upper left quadrant. If you complete a triple jackpot on a shot, then the super jackpot will light up again behind the witch's door. Although it looks like he's falling out of the multi-ball again.
So you've worked on a lot of different games. What's your favorite to play of the ones you've worked on?
I would say at the moment I really like how Wizard of Oz came out. I mean, there's a lot to do. There's everyone cheering on Josh Sharp at the moment, who's trying to stay in the qualifying the World Cup soccer. You know, I like the variety of stuff to do. I like the variety of shots on Wizard of Oz. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of a audio-visual feast of the senses, I guess you would say.
I hope they put that in the press release.
The feast of the senses?
Yes.
It's got Rescue Multi-Ball number 2 ready to go already. He's trying to avoid shooting the loop because that'll virtually lock a ball instead of start the multi-ball, which isn't, normally not a bad thing, but, it'll turn off all the rescue lights and he'll have to complete them again in order to have a chance at starting the multi-ball.
But then if he started it, he would have more balls in the multi-ball?
Exactly, right. You would, depending on the number of balls you lock, that's when, it starts off with 2 balls, and then each ball you virtually lock adds a ball when you start the multi-ball. Ball 2 lock for Emerald City. He's already got it ready to go for number 3. And there he goes.
Yeah.
So in Emerald City multi-ball, you want to approach the throne room by shooting a rollover target, then shooting the ramp, and doing that for all 3 of the characters. He needs to hit the Scarecrow right now. Oh, he just completed a horse of a different color, too. Giving him if he starts a Munchkin mode, then his Munchkin mode in bonus will score 50% more than it normally would.
He just started lights out.
Yeah, he started lights out, and it looked like he did it right before he shot the throne room for to start giving the gifts, the heart, the diploma, and the what's the third thing? I don't even remember now. Oh, that was a nasty drain right there. Yeah, you see on the lower right it said Toto exhausted, and Toto is basically turned off on this game, so you can't ever get a free shot at saving your ball.
And why do they do that?
To keep the game not playing, make sure it doesn't play very long. Time is a factor at a tournament like this, and you want people, to be moving on in the games. I mean, if everyone played 15-minute games every time, you wouldn't, there wouldn't be very many entry fees paid. Tournament, would have a hard time paying for itself.
Even with Toto turned off, it seems like this is going to be a 15-minute game.
He's doing really well. I mean, there's been a lot of under 50,000 point games. But, at this point in the tournament, too, people are really familiar with how the game is playing and, know things to avoid, shots that are dangerous, that kind of thing.
John Rapogel is on Mousin Around now. That would be his 5th game of 5. Greg Galanter just started on World Cup and
tilted his second ball.
He's got 18 million through ball 3, which if he doesn't turn it on quick, this entry is going to be dead for him.
Yeah.
And remind us, how many points does John Rapogel have on this ticket right now?
Right now, he's projecting at about 215, 219, which would put him solidly in.
And if he really lights this up, could he get in the top 8 and receive a bye in the first round of the playoffs?
I believe he can. I'm going to check that here real quick.
Brian's got a decent rescue multi-ball going here with Lollipop Lullaby, one of the Munchkin modes you get from looping around the house so many times. First you have to spell rainbow, and then you need to loop the house 10 times for the first one. And when you successfully do that, you start one of the Munchkin modes.
So what does the Lollipop Lullaby do for him?
So in this mode, the base value is, I think it's 500 points, if I'm not, maybe it's 1,000. You can increase it from the rainbow targets. And you basically want to make, the shots will alternate between the Lollipop Guild and the Lollipop, whatever they are, and the Lullaby Girls.
Sing us a song.
I don't think so. And if you keep making the shots, the currently lit ones, then the multiplier keeps going up. So it can be worth a very large number of points.
Did you have to watch the movie several times when you were making the game?
Yeah, I watched it, I want to say, I probably watched it 3 or 4 times when I was coming up with the original rule set. And then, certainly several times after that in order to determine like what assets from the movie we would use and what else, what else from the game would make good game elements.
So checking on John, if he would score about 50 points on Mousin Around, he could possibly get one of the 8 buys for round 1. Joshua Henderson is currently sitting at the 8th seed with 265 points. And John's projecting at about 215 right now.
I think he just finished that game of Mousin Around.
I don't think that'll do it, but I think he will be very happy with that entry to get in.
Brian's doing pretty well here. He's got Rainbow lit again for another Munchkin mode. And if I were him, especially if he gets this other Munchkin mode started, I think he has 5 different horses at the moment, which would add an entire 1x to the Munchkin mode multiplier, meaning everything he scored on Munchkin modes, that ball would be worth 2.5 times. As it is, he did pretty well that ball, I would say.
Certainly judging by time spent. How many points is a good score in this tournament on that game?
It's been hard for people to get over 300,000. I would think 300,000 is a pretty solid score, worth quite a few number of points. We've gone to Brian on World Cup Soccer, it looks like. He's just started his game, so he's got 4 of the 5 elements on the soccer ball. When he completes the last one, lock will be lit, and that's certainly where a lot of the points are in the game, is playing the multi-ball and getting jackpots.
And he can get that last piece of the soccer ball on the left orbit, right now on the left orbit or the right orbit, or that shot to the right of the blinking goal.
Yep, striker.
Yeah, Brian is still sitting around 100 points after 3 games. So he needs a really solid World Cup here. He's got his multi-ball lit at the final draw, which on this World Cup Soccer is a pretty tight shot.
Oh, I got the assist bicycle kick, a pretty rare event. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I didn't lock a ball yet.
Yeah, he shot the left ramp to lock the ball, and it just went right down the middle on him. Just didn't make it all the way around.
What kind of score is he looking for here?
I'm checking now. I want to say he needs in the 600 range is my guess for it to be actually probably high, but maybe a billion for 50.
So he has a ways to go, but 2 shots to start multi-ball. Oh.
And he tried to use his Magna save a little too late there.
So I guess that's probably going to pretty much do it for Brian, right? I mean, he has an outside chance if he aces another game, but...
Yeah, he's probably going to have to get 100 somewhere.
All right, where are we going next?
It is 11:15. I believe nobody can buy any more entries now, and play ends at midnight.
Right, your last game has to be started before midnight.
So this is
Twilight Zone.
This is Bob Johnson from the FSPA on Twilight Zone.
Do you know what Bob's status is?
Probably not good.
In Fast Lock multi-ball, it's a multi-ball you get. It's got hurry up, kind of like Thing on Adam's Family, Thing multi-ball. You just get it from the door panel, and the faster you shoot the lock to start the multi-ball, the more your jackpots are worth. This Twilight Zone has been playing really nice all weekend. The kickouts from the slot machine, which are always, the utmost importance in how well you do on a Twilight Zone, have been really friendly, bouncing to the from off the right flipper onto the left one.
Yeah,
oh, he's choosing to catch that now.
Most of the people I've seen play it when their ball kicks out of that slot machine in the right middle there, they're leaving that right flipper down and the ball just bounces nicely over to the left.
Yeah, in fact, right. It probably goes all the way up to, the light spiral lane quite a bit. A little rage tilt there. He probably didn't have very much bonus, I'm guessing. 100 million is probably a 0.
That's definitely a 0. I think you have to get over 300 million just to get a point right now in Twilight Zone. Also in that Twilight Zone, there's only 2 balls in the gumball machine, so that makes Powerball Mania that much easier to start. And a lot of players have just been cycling through the main multi-ball and Powerball Mania. And it looks like we've switched over to Mousin Around.
Yep, Josh Sharp on Mousin Around, who's in multi-ball and has a jackpot lit at the moment. The jackpot value is on the back glass, which looks like it's at the 4 million level to me at the moment. So he's trying to catch a ball here and shoot the right ramp in order to collect the jackpot.
Yeah.
There it is.
3.5? No, 4.
Yeah, I think the top value is 5 million, as I recall. Now he's finished the jackpot. Now he can relight the jackpot by locking the balls back in the cheese traps. So he's got the left orbit one done. Now the right lane has another lock. So he'll shoot this with the left flipper. Oh, he missed this. As we all heard the resultant exclamation, expletive, as you will. So as soon as he gets this shot, it'll kick the ball out after a couple of seconds. Jackpot value can keep going up within the multi-ball. Although after you drain out of the multi-ball, the jackpot will go back down to 1 million, and you have to build it up again. There's another 4 million jackpot shot.
He's doing a great job here with ball control. Grabbing the balls on the flippers when he can, and when he can't, at least slowing them down.
Yep. He's locked the left orbit. Ooh, came down just as the other ball's up there, but he made it into the right lane again. And left ramp lit for 4 million jackpot again. I assume he'll probably do a little tap pass to try and get it back. A quick flip to get it back over. Oh, he did the over-under.
So this is Josh Sharp's last game of his entry, and he's having a really good entry. He's projected at 216 going into this game, and obviously this Mousin Around game is really good for him.
Yeah, this has got to be close to a top 10 score at the moment.
Does it ever get any harder to get the jackpot?
No, not really. I mean, you just need to. Wow, that was awesome. You just need to keep flipping, keep the balls alive, and just keep getting them back into the traps again.
He is making it look easy.
Yeah, he's spelling cheese. If he spells cheese here, then he can shoot the ramp and bump it up to the highest value of 5 million. I don't think that's really a priority for him at this point. I mean, he's more than happy to collect 4 million jackpots. Ooh.
So what he's trying to do here is he wants a ball on that left flipper so he can shoot that right trap.
Yeah, I don't think it's really backhandable from the right flipper.
So yeah, this is close to a top 10 score for Josh, and this will put him solidly in the A playoffs, and he's threatening to get a first round bye now. He was on the outside going into this game. He was in 34th place on his previous entries.
Yeah, I think his primary goal here at the moment is probably to relight multi-ball, which you need to do by spelling mousetrap. The first multi-ball, you can shoot the left orbit, and it'll come down to the right end lane and spot mousetrap letters. But after the first multi-ball, the game will do its best to avoid awarding you mousetrap letters from the right lane. So if you shoot the loop, it'll actually move the light off the right in lane so that you can't get mousetrap letters that way. So you can either hope for lucky in lanes when it's lit, or you can, shoot the mousetrap targets yourself, which is definitely the hard way. You also notice that the ramps do not feed the in-lane switches. They drop the ball off below them, so you can't shoot ramps to get multi-ball letters either, mousetrap letters. He's also completed cheese, which means he can raise the jackpot value here again.
Plus, he got a cheesy bonus.
Indeed.
Well, this looks like it could be a while, but I'm going to sign off for now and let my better half take over.
So long, Julie.
All right, thanks, Julie.
Bye.
Ooh, that was a huge save. Oh, he didn't tilt. Wow, what a giant shove that was.
That's the second biggest save I've ever seen him make on camera.
Yeah, he's going to let the tilt bob settle in here. That was quite a shove. The bob is the pendulum that sits basically between a ring, and it'll just rotate and rotate, and that's how games tilt, is when it makes contact with the edge, and how high up you set the bob is how sensitive the tilt is. He just needs the P now to light his locks again. Oh, just missed it. So he can get the P by shooting it directly, or by making it into one of the lit in lanes, which the right in lane is the one lit at the moment. He's built up his jackpot value again now with a cheesy bonus. Jackpot sitting at $2 million at the moment. How are you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good, Kiefer. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Happy to be qualified at the moment.
Awesome.
I don't think I'll be knocked out here.
Yep. That ball just went out. That's a pretty good score there, about 22 and change on Mousin.
Yeah, that's definitely a top 10 score, and that puts Josh in contention for a first round bye tomorrow.
Nice. I'm subbing in here for my wife because we always do things in pairs.
How'd you do at the tournament, Joe?
I did not do very well. I finished just middle of the pack in B. Nothing to talk about. I believe you're above the line, right, Kiefer?
Yeah, last time I looked, I was around 13th.
Yeah, you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's definitely, I've seen at least two people make it in now, Josh and John.
Yeah.
And a couple of people, well, at least one person did not make it in on their run, Brian. And I'm not sure what happened to Greg.
Greg flamed out also, so we won't be seeing Greg in the playoffs tomorrow unless he has one more ticket in him.
Yeah, the pressure here in the last hour gets insane. I mean, everyone's adrenaline's pumping, and you really see some of the best scores happening in the last few hours of the tournament of qualification.
Yeah, it's true. And also a lot of the frustrated people at the end. And, it's just been a long weekend of qualifying, and we're really down at the last chance here.
Yep. But for a lot of people, it's easy to nice save. It's easy to play in classics or on the floor or whatever. But right now, there's no last chance. You can't come back tomorrow for qualifying. So this is your chance to come in, and that's when a lot of magic happens.
Yeah. Ball 1 of 3 locked for Klingon multi-ball. Block 2 lit on the extreme left saucer over there.
Yep. So definitely I've been seeing a lot of people this weekend just kind of timing out the modes and trying to get to Kobayashi Maru, which is what you get when you complete the all 6 of the modes at level 1.
Yeah, it's difficult to play too much with the ball because there's no rubber on any of the out lanes.
Sure.
That was a nice little run right there of warp shots.
Warp 9.2,
9.3, quick 5 million or so he got. Playing Klingon battle at the moment, just shooting the lit shots to score points.
Yeah, you can see that one coming. Star Trek's fun because unlike some games, it encourages you to not trap the ball because everything doubles as long as you're playing the shots in combination. So the values can really rack up really quickly as long as you keep playing the ball. Broadcast today is sponsored by tiltamusements.com. Trent Augenstein is, I believe, the #1 Stern reseller in the known universe, and he's also a damn good competitor. Looks like we're over on Wizard of Oz now.
Jason Wardrick.
Yeah, Kiefer can speak pretty well to that game, I think.
Yeah, it's. I'm not sure. That was ball 2. Yeah, no place like home. That's what you get for completing the targets at the lower left of the game. There's a little bumper in the left out lane there, and if you complete them as you drain, then you get the black and white mode. And if you complete that mode, which is 4 stages long, you can continue playing the game. However, it's on a timer, and everything adds time to the timer. But it's definitely a bit of a challenge in order to complete everything in time.
Well, it seems like nearly impossible, but you retain your progress through the stages as you go. So even if you don't get the ball saver on the first ball, maybe you'll get it on ball 2 or 3 if you drain out that left out lane and get it qualified.
Yeah, it saves what stage you're on, but it doesn't save your progress within the stage. So
right. But
unfortunately, he didn't make it.
Yeah,
he didn't make it past, and we'll have to start all the way again from stage 1 again.
That was harsh. 77,000.
All right, shooting in the door spots rescue letters, 2 of them actually. And now he's got the big yellow light indicates rescue multi-ball is ready to start. Now he started haunted shots, which all shots basically score additional points from what they normally would. It's awarded in bonus though, so if you tilt, then all your points are gone.
It all goes away, yeah. And that was an example of not being able to complete the left out lane bumper shots there to restart the, what do you call it, the black and white mode?
Yeah, there's no place like home is the official name of it. But I always knew, because we have all the colored lights on the game, I always knew he wanted some kind of throwback to what,
Sure, yeah.
Kind of like the movie starts off black and white.
Sure.
We wanted to make all the lights black and white. It's kind of a...
Yeah, it's Wizard of Oz. Just shoot the flashing lights, right?
Exactly.
Now, we said earlier that Toto was turned off. If you find this game on location with Toto turned on, completing Toto, what does that allow you to do?
The first time you do it, it allows you to make one shot, the ramp shot, in order to save Toto, meaning Elmira Gulch is riding along with Toto in the bicycle with Toto in the basket. And if you make the ramp shot, then Toto jumps out and gets back to Dorothy, and you can keep playing your ball. But it's on a pretty quick timer. You have about 5 seconds to make the shot.
It's basically a single shot, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. You might get a second one.
Looks like this is Sanjay Shah.
Yep.
Yes.
Just starting up his game here. So, Kiefer, when you're starting up a fresh game on Wizard of Oz, what are your priorities for shots you want to make to get things set up?
Well, normally I would go for the witch skill shot in order to start a witch hurry up right away, because the witch now is fairly difficult to get her going, because it needs you need 3 hits to get her up, and then 2 hits when she's up in order to finish her off. So getting her finished is, you have to complete her 3 times in order to start Fireball Frenzy, which is one of the requirements for Melt the Witch. And Melt the Witch is a pretty big mode where, you make 4 shots and then you need to lock a ball and hit the witch, and if you do that, you kill the witch and play a big celebration multi-ball afterwards, which can be worth significant amounts of points.
Yeah. But is that what he'd be going for in a tournament kind of setting here?
That's what I try to do.
Okay.
Most people, I think, are playing it. Getting getting the wing monkey targets, which are the blue flashing lights above the pop bumpers.
In the pop bumper zone.
Which lights the Dorothy lock on the orbit. You basically shoot either orbit, and the flying monkey will come down. The winged monkey, sorry, will come down and pick up the ball, and then Dorothy will be captured. At that point, you have to spell rescue, break down the door, and shoot the ball behind the door in order to save Dorothy.
Save Dorothy, yeah.
Just updating around the A block. Looks like Carl D'Angelo is on Twilight Zone, and he's finishing off a really good run at 241 projected points going into this game, which he needed because he was his previous entries. He was at the 24th seed, and I think he
was on the bubble.
And I think he had gone knocked out by Josh Sharp. So this run will put him right back above the line, and if he continues the good game that he's got on Twilight Zone right now, he's at 665, and I think he's got a big Powerball Mania collect when he drains.
As long as he doesn't tilt, of course.
Right.
It's definitely one of those things you become very cognizant of what your bonus is, whether tilting is worthwhile or not, especially on ball 3.
Yeah.
Wow, he had a
516,000 million bonus for a total of just under 1.2. That's a pretty impressive bonus over there on Twilight Zone.
440 million of it was all from Powerball Mania.
That's impressive. You don't often see that much in Powerball Mania.
Yeah, my guess is he played it several times.
I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, that would give him.
Normally, you only can get you can usually count on being able to get 2 or 3 Powerball jackpots, which are 50 million each.
So that'll give Carl probably on the order of 300 points or so.
Yeah, which would definitely
clearly
be a first round buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was worth at around 80 points. That's sitting at 7th or 8th, depending on if there's one score ahead of him on an entry in progress that may or may not be canceled.
Yeah. Switching over to Coy Morris here on Twilight Zone. Just starting up his game, and I don't know. You think Coy's actually going for door panels the whole way around?
Yeah, the kick, as we talked about earlier, the kick out from the slot machine is really nice. So you could probably you could spend most of your time lighting up door panels and collecting them.
Yeah. Most players I've seen this weekend have primarily been doing a Powerball Mania strategy where they shoot the Rams to light the gumball and then try to get to Powerball Mania. But certainly one approach could be just to pound your way through the door panels, try to get to Lost in the Zone. Well, there's Powerball Mania, or Powerball anyway.
Well, good loss.
Yeah. Ooh, that was not a good kick out.
That was a bad kick out.
Well, while the kick out has been really good on regular balls, the Powerball has been squirrely at times.
But he's got 2 balls locked, and so it just keeps giving him just keeps giving him the
right orbit will
Powerball.
start Powerball Mania.
Now you're presented with an interesting dilemma here. One of the things you can do is actually lock the Powerball and play regular multi-ball with it, and if you do that, then any jackpot you score with the Powerball is then doubled. Most people will choose not to do that.
I can't see that as a viable strategy. If you stumble into it, it's great, but I'd rather start Town Square Madness if you're going to do that.
Well, Jim Pelzito told me he really likes playing multi-ball with the Powerball and going for the doubles. It's
fun. At home, I'd love to do it, but when you're here playing for $10,000, maybe not so much.
All right.
Right now, Coy just wants to start it, so there you go.
Got it. So in Powerball Mania, the goal is to shoot the right ramp, get the balls up on the power field, and then use the Magnaflips, the buttons activate magnets on the power field, and get the ball up the top in order to score 50 million jackpots.
Oh my God, he's not even going to get those back.
Nope, he's getting one back at least.
Yeah. I doubt he'll get 2, but he might.
Nope, he's just getting the 1.
Also, the clock is running during this mode, and while the clock is running, it's basically a 250,000 point frenzy, which means every shot or every switch scores 250,000.
Right. which is fairly hard to take advantage of. There's no spinners or anything. The only thing that really racks up those points would be the pop bumpers, but those are pretty dangerous.
Right.
Although the switches up here in the power field are actually not bad.
There's one Powerball jackpot for 50 million.
This time will probably run out in a moment here, and there it goes. And then to relight, well, never mind, but to relight the power field, you hit the left ramp.
Yep. Ball 1 locked for a regular multi-ball here. Now the best play here is just bounce it over like you just did and shoot it right back up the lock.
Now jackpots are 40 million.
Now here, you know, a lot of times you would shoot the left ramp because it's an easy shot, but I've been shooting the lock again because you just shot it 2 times, and that's what Coy just did. You shoot the lock shot again because you just shot it 2 times to lock balls, and
you know where it is.
Right, you know where it is, and you know.
You also
after 3 solid days of tournament play, you know the left ramp backhand is probably not quite as easy as it was earlier.
And also you get kind of a slower feed because if you get that big kick from the auto launcher, it comes with speed.
Yep.
Versus the kick out from the lock is quite leisurely.
So the auto launcher on this one was going a little slow when I played it later on today.
Later on today.
Yeah,
I like your time machine. Let us know how it will have been going to be when you play it later on today.
Exactly.
Coy got a restart there after draining 2 balls. Shoot the lock if you want to restart.
Yep, the piano jackpot stays the same as where it was, but the penalty for getting a restart is the jackpot will go down to
subsequent jackpots will be at 15
starting
mil.
at 25 mil, yeah.
Or is it 25?
Well, it turns the base back to 15. So each subsequent jackpot is worth 10 million more than the last one.
Right. Oh, okay.
So the second one is worth 25.
Right. You're correct. The old triple ball on one flipper. Good separation.
Yeah, it's I don't know what you're playing. I mean, you're basically looking at staging the flipper at this point. I mean, you can let go of the flipper button a little bit. Okay, I see. He flipped away and tried to shoot one of them up the ramp and make the jackpot with the flipper. Yeah, it is possible to let go of the flipper just a little bit, and the upper flipper will collapse while you're still holding balls on the lower flipper.
Good setup
but it's bounced out.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard. You know, it's a pretty hard skill to master, but it's definitely valuable in certain situations like that.
Yeah.
His last chance at the jackpot didn't quite make it.
Yeah, we were actually discussing over dinner this evening the relative merits of whether to shoot the right ramp or the right orbits. In both cases, the machine during multi-ball will try to trap the ball in a way that's most advantageous for you. So if you shoot the right orbit, it'll trap it on the magnets just above the upper left flipper and give you a nice slow feed down for the jackpot shot.
Yeah, I will say that the ramp diverter on this game, you know, while it can vary, has been excellent. I haven't had a single problem with any of the feeds I ever had on it.
Yeah, the downside of it is if you do not fully make the right ramp, you can have a straight down the middle risk versus the right orbit, which probably will not be a straight down the middle reject if you miss it.
Absolutely. He's still got Fastlock going here. He's got a last chance.
And he did get it with 5.9 million per shot now. So we'll have a 3-ball multi-ball. Every shot on the lock will be 5.9 million. One of the several multi-balls available here in Twilight Zone. And you can definitely get a rhythm in this one, especially if you're down to 2 balls. It can be easy to trap 1 ball on the right flipper and just hold that flipper, shoot the lock from the left. And when it ejects from the lock, it'll just bounce off that upper flipper and often settle back in the lower right.
He has Town Square Madness running too, which I kind of forgot about, but he's got some good points building up there.
Yeah.
That's basically a switch frenzy where every switch scores some value, and the value goes up every bumper you hit. That's what all those crazy faces are. Wow,
46 million on Town Square Madness, and that is bonus. So he's definitely at a point now between Town Square Madness and Powerball Mania. He does not want to tilt.
Exactly.
Well, yes and no, because even if he tilts right now, or even if he collects his bonus right now, it's probably not enough. That's one of the interesting situational things about tournament pinball. 250 million if you're playing with your buddies might be a good score, but right now in A division, 250 million is worth probably
That's
zero
true. You're
or
sitting
not
here
much.
at ball 3, so yeah, it's all about longevity.
Yeah. You have to know what your target score is. You have to mentally prepare yourself for whatever your goal is. Another gumball loaded. 25 mil, which is nice points.
Let's see. Let's pull up the Twilight Zone scores.
Also,
The 0 point of Twilight Zone starts at 360 million.
Right. So what that basically means is, like in this situation, he'll probably have 300 million after his bonus, and that's completely irrelevant. So he would have actually been better off
Trying to
to save the ball because there was no harm in tilting.
All right, he probably got a few points there.
Yeah, maybe a couple points, but it's definitely one of those interesting aspects of tournament pinball. You have to be really aware of your situation. This is the Papa 17 A Division qualifiers. We are in the last hour of qualification. Whoever makes it today will be going on to the playoff round tomorrow for the money and the glory, and whoever does not make it today is going to be watching. We're switching over to Quicksilver.
And this is ball 1.
He's got a good ball going. He finished Quicksilver, so he's got max bonus here. And he's also got 5x. He's completely lit up for bonus. This is a really good ball. This is Maurice.
Is that Maurice Pelletier?
Yeah.
I tried to say his name, but Maurice.
Yeah, I meet Maurice at a lot of the Michigan events. Is where I see him.
Yeah.
So this is pretty huge bonus for sure, and the multiplier stays for the entire game. So.
How's this Quicksilver playing there, Kiefer?
It plays pretty good. It's still tough. The outlanes are difficult, mostly because you have the rubber on the slingshots kind of shoving the ball to the outlanes. But it's definitely, you can definitely do a lot on the game, as Maurice is showing us at the moment.
Yep. 1 million points on ball 1. Not shabby at all.
The way you get bonus in this game is by getting Quicksilver letters. Each letter you get adds a light to the bonus, and interestingly, which is different from most games, the light on bonus is what the actual number of points you get. So you actually get 1,000 points plus 2,000 points plus 3,000 points. So if you have 5 lights lit up, you actually have 15,000 in bonus, not 5,000.
Not 5,000, yeah.
This is game 3 of Maurice's run. He's projected at 60 points through 2 games.
This is probably a top 5 score at the moment, I'm guessing.
Yeah. His problem is going to be whether he can get his other 2 games in time, because he's got,
he's
11:46, so
going
that's
up against the
14
clock.
minutes.
What other 2 games did he play?
He played High Speed and Surf and Safari. Surf and Safari, he had 37 million on. It'd be good for 48 points at the moment, and High Speed he had 3.2 million, which would be good for 12 points at the moment.
Boy, I don't know what other game. I mean, maybe Oz, you could get some points on pretty quick and still have a chance to start a last game. It's going to be it's going to be close. He's definitely going to be up against it.
Yeah, games have to start now with 13 minutes. It's 11:47, and I believe everyone has to be in by 12 midnight. You have to start your last game.
Mousin Around has no one on it. He could potentially jump on that one.
Ooh, that was a nice flipper drop right at the last second there. He's only got 3 letters left again to max bonus. Now you can shoot the 4 bank on the left side of the game there, kind of in the middle, and that will spot Quicksilver letters for you. Also, that hole raises the value of each individual target. So now every target he shoots is worth 21,000. So if I'm him at this point, I am shooting for those targets that'll give me 21,000 each and spot the last couple of letters.
Although, as we were just talking about, his best approach actually at this point might be to get the heck off the game. He has a very solid score.
Yeah.
He needs to finish out his ticket. What's this going to be at that 2 million?
That may be number
Right
1.
I think that's number 1.
Wow, 100
That's a
points.
huge game at the last minute.
100 points is really nice.
No, it looks like number 2. There's a 2.1 on there already. Although that might have been voided. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. You have that information, Joe?
That's actually in possession of Steve Zoller, and that's an entry in progress.
Interesting.
And Steve looks like he's waiting for fishtails. I don't know how many games Steve has left at the moment. He's going to be up against the clock pretty soon, too.
He has 1 game left, and his Quicksilver is all he's got points on.
Really?
Everything else is
nonsense. Okay.
So he's going to go for fishtails and probably try and get some super jackpots or something to clear it out. He is sitting at 199. He is on the bubble. He is the 24th seed at the moment.
Oh, wow.
With the possibility of Maurice knocking him off.
Yeah, well, that actually gets into some of the interesting strategic aspects of the Papa qualifying format where, whether you void your ticket or not can be very strategically important for other players, especially if you have those big scores. Number 1 is 100 points, number 2 is 90 points, number 3 is 85 points, and then drops by a point per rank after that. So the difference between first and third place is monstrous, really. So
looks like there's a line for fishtails.
Yeah, who's this? Jason Wardrick coming up on Fishy.
Jason Wardrick from the Chicago area.
And looks like Steve is going to go to Spiderman instead.
Spider-Man.
So where's Maurice going to? He's just looking around right now. I'm not sure where he's going to next.
He probably doesn't want to play Mousin Around, is my guess. But he may not have much of a choice here if he's going to get his games in.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes to go. And what does he need, 2 games still on his ticket?
He's got 2 games left.
Wow.
The fishtails could open up real quick the way it's been playing.
Yeah, fishtails is always that way. Looks like we're looking at Spiderman right
Steve
now.
Zoller.
Steve Zoller on it, just starting off his game. That was a quick drain. I mean, kind of the textbook approach to Spider-Man would be to pound out Doc Ock shots there on the right lane, whatever you call it, the Doc Ock shot.
Yep. Lane's a good word.
Sure, we'll go with lane. Other stuff, that's one of the interesting things about Spider-Man. A lot of the other stuff just happens by missed shots and so forth. You can accumulate a lot of points, and Steve there just demonstrated the right lane I was speaking of for Doc Ock. Still 2 more shots. It's set to more than extra hard.
Yeah, we talked earlier about how the backhand is pretty difficult on it. It looks like he's kind of avoiding that at the moment. Maurice is stepping up to fishtails. Looks like he'll get that game in.
I think we're going to be moving over to fishtails here for a bit to follow Maurice and see how his run's going to turn out after that excellent game he had over there on Quicksilver. Folks watching,
looks like he's going for monster fish.
Him and everyone else.
Yeah. The multi-ball is just way too hard in this game.
Sure. And even if you actually get into multi-ball, there's a good chance you won't be able to cash it out.
Yeah.
For folks watching live stream, this is the last 15 minutes or so, or whatever it turns out to be, of A Division qualifying at Papa 17. Whoever makes the top 24 here today will be going on to the playoffs tomorrow, and everyone else will get to watch from the comfortable seats here at the Papa facility.
He's actually going for multi-ball. He made the orbit shot followed by the lock shot, which scored that fast cast bonus there, which starts at 2 million and goes up by $1 million each time you manage to do it. Up to 10 million if that really matters, but.
And even here, I mean, he can be, no. I was going to say he could be making shots on the ramps and still kind of working his way towards monster fish, even if that's not his primary objective at the point.
Yeah. We got Fish Finder, which is the mystery award, and that just awards stuff in order. The first 2 are 4 million and increased cap to ball. And I haven't seen too many after that, so I don't remember what the order is.
Yeah, I mean, Ooh, yeah. I mean that. Oh, you got the ball
right.
saver. Wow.
Fishtails is one of the I don't think you can turn off the ball saver on fishtails.
Well.
So that's
instead,
why
it just screws you by launching the ball and throwing it down the out lane.
Yeah.
Definitely in over the weekend, I have not been seeing too many huge scores on fishtails. It has been beating people up.
It has. I mean, the flippers have gotten pretty weak over the last couple of days, and the prevailing strategy by far is just go for monster fish.
Yeah.
Maurice is going to have to get to 50 million points to secure any chance of a point.
Yeah.
If he gets
50 million points just for 1 point here.
Right. If he gets to 90 million, he could get in the 40 range, which would really help him. But that's going to be a 0.
Yeah.
But he's got one
He
game
has
in
one
hand.
game to go.
And he has 6 minutes.
On the plus side, it was quick. So if he can start something else, he has a chance of finishing out his ticket here and possibly kicking himself into qualifying position. And he's walking over to the right. Think Wizard? Yeah, he's definitely going that way.
Quick update on Steve Zoller. He's got 17.5 million on ball 2.
What do we need on Spiderman here to get even a point?
Well, he needs to win Spiderman.
Does he need to get a number 1?
He needs to get number 1,
which neighborhood of 300 million, as I recall.
Well, that's no problem.
But even if he did that, it would improve his position by a grand total of 1 point at the moment. So he's sitting at 199. Another first place on this ticket would give him 200 for the tickets, with no games to play after that.
Well, that's a steep hill to climb then. The screen is telling us Pinball Expo is coming up in just about 2 months in Chicago, Illinois, or just a suburb of Chicago, Illinois. I guess it's I don't know where the heck that suburb is these days. It used to be Rosemont. What is it, Kiefer?
Oh, it's what's the name of that place?
Yeah,
Shoot.
I don't know either.
Yeah, it's the north side.
Looks like someone beat Maurice to Wizard of Oz. Looks like Bob Johnson is on Wizard of Oz now, so Maurice is hoping that he plays really quickly.
Yeah, he's drained his first ball already.
Yeah, he's got about 5 minutes to go. Steve Zoller over here on Spiderman is on, I think it's ball 3 with 26 million, so if he needs a number 1 score, he has a long way to go.
Yeah, he's got lock lit. I don't know if it looks like lock 2.
Yeah.
So he's got to hit that target, I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 times.
I believe it's 2.
Okay. And in order to light the last lock.
And that's not going to happen.
Well, Steve Zoller's fate is now in other people's hands.
Yeah, it's one of the things about this format. You really need consistency across the 5 games in your ticket.
And it looks like someone has bumped Steve out. He is now in 25th position, 3 points below the line.
And Maurice is going to get his chance on Wizard of Oz, it looks like.
Bob Johnson came off pretty quickly, so Maurice will be able to start the game. So what does Maurice need for like a top 10 over there on Wizard of Oz?
Top 10 is probably going to be in the 400,000
400,000.
I'll pull up the scores now. You can, of course, go to papa.org and look at the live standings and see all the scores and all the standings yourself.
Looks like 300,000 will do it.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yep. One of the cool new features on the papa.org site this year is you can actually see tickets that are in progress. So there's no more guessing about where your standings are. It'll show you how many points you have accumulated so far.
So he took the witch skill shot, which not a lot of people have been doing. Mostly because the witch can tend to drain you right down the right out lane, the gaping wide right out lane. You need three witch hurry-ups in order to qualify Fireball Frenzy, which can be a lucrative mode if you can keep scoring there for a long time. But more importantly, it's one of the things you need to get Melt the Witch. I've only seen one person have it lit earlier, and that was Josh Henderson, and he failed to start it. Another nice skill shot. Avoids the out lane. Yeah, this is probably a pretty smart pick on his part. I mean, I don't know how well he knows the game, but he seems to be doing fairly well at it at the moment. He's got the drop target down to access the Witch's playfield. He doesn't have Dorothy captured yet.
I was going to say he didn't capture a ball on the monkey.
No, but he can virtual lock balls beforehand anyway.
And the only way to actually do that monkey lock is you have to hit those targets in the pop bumper zone.
That's right. Ooh, that actually came off the post, which has no rubber on it, by the way, and hit the bottom of his
bottom
flipper.
side of the flipper. Yeah,
that's a tough break.
18,000 with only one ball to go in his entire ticket, I believe. This is the drama of Papa, trying to figure out what he can pull out in the last few minutes of qualifying.
He's trying to lock balls for Emerald City Multiball here. He's got 2 locks lit at the moment. You light locks by completing the letters and the names of the characters.
Yeah, what you do by the little rollover buttons, right?
Yep.
It's definitely an unusual thing. I mean, they're not targets you strike in the normal way. You roll over them.
Yeah,
it's
it's kind of a throwback in a way. I mean, the only other person who's really used them in recent history has been John Papaduke. And in fact, they're the exact same rollover switches that he uses, like on World Cup soccer and games like that.
Sure,
they're clear instead of red.
Voltaire, yeah. 2 balls locked there for the Emerald City multi-ball.
Yeah, first one needs, first one. Oh, you just completed the line. Every rollover gives you 2 letters in the name.
Yep,
there he goes.
That's number 3.
Now, if he goes through the entire sequence without anything else, that will get him probably about 125 million points. 125,000, yes.
Which would
Don't you love it?
Which might do it for him. He's looking at needing about 50 points. 50 points, he'd have to be about 135.
Well, yep, that would definitely be right about there. And of course, there's incidentals besides just the jackpots.
Yeah, he's got crystal ball mode ready now. So if he shoots a crystal ball, he'll have double scoring
double
for
playfield,
everything. Right? Yeah.
And some random. Is it random? The what specific crystal ball mode you get?
No, it depends on the color of the ball targets which you change by hitting the ball targets. Oh, he saved that ball, but the other Charagon, he's out of multi-ball now.
Yeah. Even if he shoots it right now, it's too late.
Yeah. So at the moment, now they're blue. It looks like, which is lights off multi-ball. The red one was no hold flippers. I think he got it.
He got it.
He's got a chance. He's
not dead yet. He has to complete all 4 stages of No Place Like Home, which is quite an undertaking. I mean,
it is, especially because the timer starts at 20 seconds.
Well, it's just not going to happen.
That's a tough
so I don't know if he's going to get any points at all, but it's not really going to be enough to make a real difference on this ticket.
No, it's not going to be enough.
just under 65,000 points there, which, in other circumstances might be okay, but not what he needed on this particular ticket to take him over the top.
It's 12:01 now. No more new games.
Yeah, everyone who's playing right now is good to play, and some of the games have already been turned off because no new games can be started. Wizard of Oz is off. Quicksilver is off.
Watching Sean Grant on Twilight Zone here.
The Storm.
Sean doesn't have a chance of qualifying on this ticket. He has 73 points projected going into this game.
And this is his last game.
This will be his last game.
Yeah. So it's a very respectable score he has. He's collecting bonus. How much will that be?
Any Powerball Mania?
Nope, just 30 million. All right, so he's at about 900 right now.
Yeah, just to put in perspective, I got a 200 million collect on my qualifying run for collect bonus. A very lucky timing.
Mostly Powerball Mania, I assume.
Exactly.
Yeah.
About 150 in Powerball Mania.
Now, Sean still has something to play for here because there is a bounty on Twilight Zone. If he can get a score above 2.5 billion points,
he likes the countdown effect.
He will get $100 cash money in his pocket.
He only needs $1.5 billion more, no problem.
Do you know if Sean is on the board at the moment? Doesn't look like that he is.
He's below the line.
He's under the
28th.
line last I saw, yeah.
Currently sitting at 28th place.
Yeah, if he managed to have a good game on here, it'll be pretty unfortunate because he would have had a chance at another game, but he's missed the opportunity to start.
Yep, 1 billion, which is a good score, but not enough.
Yeah, I think he's just realizing now he doesn't have another game to start.
Yep. Everyone can follow all of this on papa.org. And also find lots of game videos, tutorials, information about replay effects, which will be happening next year.
Looks like we're moving to Spiderman, and here we have Joe Saeed.
Yep.
Joe Saeed over there. Does he have a chance?
33 million on not a bad start to a game, certainly.
Well, it's on a start. He's on ball 3. It looks like all we got left right now is Joe Saeed on Spiderman and Adam McKinney on Surf and Safari. Looks like Adam's got 40-something million on ball 3, and he has the look of being done over there on Surfing. So, and Joe has the look of being done on Spiderman. So
that is the end of qualifying.
we'll be very quickly finding out the final standings, the players who will be playing tomorrow in the finals in the A division, which will be televised here on Papa TV.
And Sean Grant is unfortunately realizing that he has missed the boat.
So number 1 qualifier in A is Roy Wills.
Nice. Roy had just such a giant run when he put together. It's almost unprecedented how well he did.
Rounding out the top 8, which they will have first round buys tomorrow, would be Carl D'Angelo, Josh Sharp, Keith Elwin, Andre Masenkoff, Kaylee George, Steve Bowden, and Nick Zendejas. Nice.
Zen made it up. And Carl D'Angelo made it up. Certainly qualifying is number 2. That's he's raised his game there. I think he's made it in 1 or 2 times before, but qualifying as the number 2 seed is very impressive.
Very impressive. Rounding out the rest of the 24 going tomorrow, we have Dave Heggie, Trent Augenstein, Chris Stevens, Zach Sharp, Joshua Henderson, Bowen Cairns, Johnny Modica, Kevin Burrell, Andy Rosa, Adam Becker, Keith P. Johnson, Dave Stewart.
Keith P. Johnson, who's that?
Jim Belcito, Lyman Sheets, John Replogle, and Colin McElpeen.
Yeah, we saw John qualify during our coverage here. And Josh, we saw some of them qualifying. And he had the big game on Mousin Around.
And Steve Soller, outside looking in, 2 points below the line.
The hardest place to be.
All right. So I guess that's going to about do it for our coverage.
Yep, I think that is it for the qualifying rounds. Tomorrow, Papa TV coverage will start at 10 a.m., I think. 12:30, being told. We'll be starting coverage tomorrow at 12:30, and then you'll be able to see the A Division playoff rounds all the way until the happy end. The happy end for someone who will take home the Papa 17 A Division crown and $10,000 and get their names up in the rafters here at the Papa facility. Until then, I'm Joe Schober. I'm here with Keith P. Johnson and Joe Kosak. Thank you all for listening to us, and hope you tune in tomorrow for the playoff coverage here at Papa.